Welcome back to Keeping It Real on Be-Moor Radio. I'm your host, Johnathan Lundy, and my man next to me is...
What's up? It's your boy, Kevin Moore.
How you doing, Brody?
Hey, I'm blessed, man. Another day, man. I'm glad to be here.
Always a good thing to be here. All right, this is our 2020 Tokyo Olympic special. We got a bunch of topics lined up regarding the Olympics, from the behind the scenes stuff to what we've seen from the events and things like that. But we do have a very special guest with us today. I don't really know if he's a guest because he's been contributing behind the scenes.
Right, yeah.
He's been a big help on helping contributing to research, questions, editing, things in the background. So without further ado, I'm gonna bring him on.
Doing good today. How y'all doing today?
We good. Johnathan, tell us a bit about yourself.
Well, I'm an intern, as obviously you guys know. I've been working, doing some of the production, helping out with questions, help set up the show, get some things together, and just trying to find my own little grind or way around this world.
I feel it. It's finally cool to have Johnathan on board with us. He's actually going to be talking with Kevin and I for the topics that we have today. So we have a different kind of concept that we're trying. We're going to spend 3 minutes on each topic, a minute each between the three of us. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get started with the first topic, which is probably the hottest topic going on in the Olympics right now. Simone Biles and the conversation around mental health. So what we know is that Simone, she pulled out of some events in the Olympics to protect herself and protect the team as well, because like gymnastics, sport like this is rooted in perfection. So if you, in order to have the highest scores, you got to be pretty close to perfection. It's not like other sports like basketball, football. You turn the ball over, you get another chance, you get another down. But like gymnastics, you pretty much got that one time to get it right, or you're gonna get a low score, or you're also gonna hurt yourself. I remember she posted on her Instagram. She was answering questions about what exactly that it was that she was going through. She was talking about the twisties. It's a term that I think gymnasts use when you're in the air and you really don't know what's going on. You don't know where you are. In the air, you can't tell up from down. And of course, that can be dangerous. I want to ask y'all what y'all think about that.
I mean, I agree. I'm all for her, protecting her mental health, because that's what's most important. And I think so many people are just focused on the sport, seeing whoever compete in the sport that they're participating in, that they forget to realize they're a human being too. And we don't know what they're going through off the behind the scenes and everything. So I'm definitely all for her pulling out. She already really doesn't have to prove anything. I mean, she had the gold medals, her accomplishments are through the roof. So when it comes to protecting your mental health, for me, you got to do what you got to do. And so, she did what she had to do. So I'm all for it.
Yeah, totally agree. I mean, because you also have to think about it. It's like Olympic athletes. They've been training out for a whole year to get ready to come here. And they've been doing it under COVID, under no fans. And then it's you've been practicing all year in the most unsafe mental place possible. You've been training in a gym by yourself. You're not training with people anymore. You're training with just you and your trainer. There's no social, I guess, fresh breath, fresh air. There's no more of that. It's just you come here, you train, you go home. You don't talk to nobody. You talk to everybody through your phone. And as an athlete, it's good to step out of what you go through every day in training. And so I think, it is some needs to back off of, because everyone can be perfect as an athlete, even though they build themselves in their sport to be so. They're not built like that.
I feel it. Excellent points all around. Moving on to the next topic. Naomi Osaka loses to, I cannot pronounce that name, so let me not be disrespectful, but she lost in the third round to another player from the Czech Republic. Naomi, she after the match, she talked it up to her just not having it and her not being all the way there, because that was pretty much an upset. From my understanding, where I don't even think she was ranked I think that's what Jonathan told me earlier, that she wasn't even ranked. In the manner in which she lost, it's just like, yeah, you pretty much tell that, like something wasn't right, or she just wasn't all the way there. And on top of that, the pressure that she had before, because she withdrew from the previous tournament, was at Wimbledon. She withdrew from that, and I think this was going to be like one of her first matches, which was like participating in the Olympics for your country, Japan. So let me hear what y'all think about that.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's definitely an upset. Naomi Osaka, one of the best tennis athletes in the world. She's ranked number 2 going into the Olympics, and she loses in the third round. So that's a big loss. People are definitely gonna go take shots at her for losing so early in the Olympics. But yeah, her withdrawing from Wimbledon, that was a big statement. And I was I shocked? Yeah, but at the same time, I mean, it happens, especially with a sport like tennis. You got to be on your A game every match, because it's an individual sport. You can't rely on anyone but yourself. So, like she said, she wasn't all there. So in my mind, like, should she even competed? She wasn't all the way there or not. But that's just my whole take on it.
Yeah, no, I feel bad for her because I mean she played enough to get to third round. She was ranked. She got the title. Now from a tennis standpoint, she did her she she had a lot of mishaps. She would hit the ball badly, it would go out, and it was like the first game. It was 6-1, and that just wasn't good for a ranked number 2 player against a non-ranked. That's just tennis wise. Now mental wise, I could tell she wasn't in it from the first game at all in itself. It's just she probably should have pulled out of this shit, like she should have pulled out of women, but that pressure, like Jonathan and Ken was talking about, she probably said like she can't do it. She probably felt like she couldn't do it. If she pulled out, it would only make her fame or popularity go down. People would then just be like, she's just taking mental health to a whole nother degree just to get out of everything, and that's probably not the case.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. All right, next topic. Sha'Carri Richardson, a very hot topic before for the Olympics actually started. As we all know, it's been a few weeks since it happened. She had a very unfortunate situation in which she learned about the passing of her mother through a reporter, like while she was like in an interview, like while she was still like on the track, and just like dealing with that whole whirlwind of emotions. So she decided to cope with it the best way she knew how, which was like through smoking weed. And like that happened. Of course, like the Olympics, they don't want their athletes like smoking weed because they think that it gives a competitive advantage, which I'm kind of iffy on, because if anything, it slow you down. But like there was a whole like snafu about that, and then the conversation turned to like, hey, should they still be testing for weed? Like, is this like an archaic rule or things like that? So tell me what y'all think about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously unfortunate because she was destined to take home a medal. Not in just my opinion, but a lot of people's opinions. I mean, she killed in college. After college, she was doing her thing. She was all ready for the Olympics, and then unfortunately, this happens. But I personally think that she should have ran. They should have let her just go and run. I honestly don't see the big problem with marijuana, in my opinion. And like you were saying, Jonathan, that's how people deal with different things differently. And her losing a loved one very close to her, that's the way she knew how to deal with it. And I personally don't think it was gonna either give her an advantage at the Olympics, and like I just think they should have let her run, let her do her thing. And I love how she owned up to it too. How she said, "I made a mistake," but she didn't do anything other than own up to it and take her L. But that's not going to stop her. So it's not the last time we're going to hear about her. So she's going to continue to go out there and dominate and do her thing.
Yeah, totally. I mean, there's two sides to the coin. There's she had rules being one side and social rules, like the Olympics rules and social rules. And she went with more of the social rules. There's nothing wrong with it, but also some people will argue that she should have still ran in the 4x1 just to show her face at the Olympics, just to still put her stamp on it, like I could have still won if I wanted to. Like she could have put herself on the map as a medalist in general, but instead she took the social high road, which I mean we'll see in the future if it hurts or helps her career. But as of right now, it's just her sitting at home and watching the Jamaican girls go crazy. So I love it. I mean, because it's gonna bring out a type of social, a type of fun back to the sport. Because since Usain left, it's kind of been like, who are these people? And she's kind of brought that new fire, especially after her qualifying when she ran and then she ran straight into the stands. And with her long nails and her weave, like she showed out that she can run with all that on and still be bad. And that's pretty dope to me. So yeah, man, it's gonna be a good one.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Not gonna be the last we've seen of her. She already got a new Beats commercial. I think that was during the finals they played that. But all right, next topic, we have Raven Saunders' podium protest after winning a silver medal. Raven Saunders, she's a 25-year-old Olympic athlete for USA. She participated in the 2016 Olympics, but in between that, she was dealing with depression and also suicidal thoughts. So she got some help, came back strong for the 2020 Olympics, and she won the silver medal in shot put. But as she was receiving her medal, she crossed her hands and her arms into an X, and as a form of protest. She said that's the intersection of like where all oppressed people meet. And right now, the International Olympic Committee is looking into her simply forming an X with her arms, like just trying to look for, I guess, an infraction, because IOC stated before the Olympics started that they didn't want anyone like making any form of protest at all. Tell me what y'all think about that.
In my opinion, I get that. I get with the IOC, but they're trying to do. They don't want anyone making any gestures, but at the same time, we all got a freedom of speech. Maybe got a right to say what's on your mind, and I'm pretty sure Raven knew about the IOC and what they said about not making protests. But at the end of the day, she's gonna do what she wants to do. So it's with me. It's like you gonna make your protest, say what you got to say, and then see where everything gonna play out. Like, I mean, if they take her medal away, that's probably gonna cause some more controversy and everything. If they don't take it away, it's still gonna probably cause some controversy still. So my thing is she wanted to make herself known, and she's doing just that.
Yeah, I feel like this is good for Raven, bad for IOC. Because I mean, firstly, that's kind of it's not that it's even leaked. It's badly that it's not leaked, and it's just said. Everybody knows this, that you can't protest during your Olympic, I guess, competition or exhibition or a podium or at the podium, because for some countries they don't all have that exact same freedom of speech. So what's the world's biggest stage to show everybody, that something needs to stop in your said place or in your said country? Oh, that right there, the Olympics, where millions of people are watching from home. And now you're telling them that none of them can do a protest. So now there's restriction amongst voice. So it's going to be a lot of, I guess, upheaval from them. So for Raven, this is a win. For IOC, this is probably them starting to push a boulder uphill. So yeah.
Yeah, great points all around. Great points all around. All right, next topic. Are unrealistic expectations placed on athletes by media and fans. We look at the athletes that are participating in the Olympics. We look at Simone, look at Naomi, look at Sha'Carri, and even somebody like Raven Saunders in this case. They've all had something to at least say, like, about the mental health of an athlete and also participating in the Olympics and all the pressure that goes along with it. And it's not something easy to manage, of course, as we've seen in like case by case. And they've also have been very vocal about it. And even like in Simone's case, when she pulled out, there was like so many people talking crazy, as if we truly understand what Simone is dealing with. I'm like I'm sitting on my couch, I'm looking at the gymnastics, I'm like, wow, like, this is crazy. I can't do any of this. Like, this is really cool to watch. But then you got somebody on Twitter talking about, oh, she's a coward, like she quit on her country, this, that, yada, yada, yada. And it's like, what? Like you go out there and try that. Tell me what y'all think about that, the expectations we place, but media and fans place on athletes.
Yeah, first off, I'll start by saying social media is gotten to the point where it's out of control, honestly, because like the fans and media, how they portray these athletes and these other people is crazy. Like I said earlier, like, we don't know what an athlete is truly going through. Like I said, we just see them on the court, or or whatever sport they're playing, and we had this expectation of them. It's like we put them on a pedestal, but at the same time, like I said, we don't know what they're going through. So I really think there are some unrealistic expectations that are placed on athletes by media and fans, and I feel like fans say so much on social media that they won't say to the person's face. Like, it's so crazy. Like, if you're not gonna say it to their face, don't say it on social media. And we don't know how people would take that either. So people can take it differently. They could really have an impact on them, and some they just brush it off. But it's just social media just gotten out of hand, in my opinion.
Hey man, you said a lot. You said a lot of good stuff. Not gonna lie. I don't even know where I can start. But what I can say is, social media has. I know for a professional athlete, I know coaches and agents tell their players, don't even go to social media after the game, especially after you lose. Even if you win, don't go there, because if you didn't produce the numbers, it's gonna show. People are gonna find a way. They're going to find a way to expose you. So it's like, of course, they're unrealistic. Everybody wants everybody to drop, like in basketball. Everybody wants everybody on the team to drop at least 12 points to match LeBron's points. Everybody can't drop 12. There's 5 other people on the opposing team that's stopping them. Like, everybody can't drop 20. Everybody can't drop 30. So, it's like, when it comes to athletes, man, it's like we make them superheroes. Like, we may not have a Superman or a Batman, like these real people, but like athletes in our brains as fans, they become our superheroes. We believe there's no reason they should ever quit. There's no reason they should ever stop. Because if they stop, then they don't love us. They don't want to protect our mindset. And, it's always been unrealistic, but it's just gotten worse to this point, because these are people who truly trained for 2 whole years to at least get to this moment. And for 1 whole year, they couldn't even think straight, because they had to stay in this one frame of mindset, basically in competition mindset, for a whole year. Like I know how I feel to stay in competition mindset for a while, because you never know when they're finally going to say, okay, you can start doing this now. Okay, we got this set up, so you can start going. So I just feel like it's always been a little unrealistic, and now it's just showing a lot more.
Yeah, great points all around. Very unrealistic, because like Kevin said earlier, in one of his points earlier, we forget that they are human first before they're an athlete or performing on this stage. We truly forget that. All right, the next point, the USA men's basketball team. What's going on with them? Like, is there a problem, or is the rest of the world catching up with them? Because what happened? They lost to I think that was Nigeria in that preliminary, that little preseason thing they had. Then they also lost to France. A lot of the guys like Steph Curry, Anthony Davis, I guess Carmelo count because like he's still goated, but yeah, like a lot of those guys who we would normally see like some of the greatest players in the NBA aren't there, and it's kind of showing. But I still think all in all they'll be okay because like they're good enough. They just need time to practice. Drew Holiday, Devin Booker, Chris Middleton were late additions because they had to wait until the finals were over. But like yeah, in this COVID year, they really haven't had a chance to play or practice, and on top of that, those guys don't have Olympic experience. So tell me what y'all think about this 2020 men's basketball team.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, there are some superstars on this team. Kevin Durant, Dame Lillard. So we got the talent. It's just my thing is, honestly, the rest of the world has caught up with the game of basketball. Because back in the day, you know, we had the greatest. We had the Magics, the Michael Jordans, the Charles Barkleys, and those other Olympic teams didn't have really anybody. You had Tony Kukoc. That was like the other biggest name back then. But now you got Luka Doncic. You got the Rudy Goberts. You know, you have players from these international teams that compete at a high level in the NBA and are some of the greatest players. So I think it's those international teams have caught up, and also the players on the USA team, they not used to these international rules. Like it's crazy. Like they so used to the NBA game, but this is not that. Like they gotta dig deep down and really adjust to this international game. It's more physical. You know, they're not gonna call the ticky-tack fouls. They're not gonna call the fouls when you looking for contact. Like, no, that's not happening around here. So they just gotta get in that mindset. But like you said, I think they're gonna be okay. You know, hopefully they can make it to the gold medal game. If not, it's gonna be some more talk about, you know, who put this team together and stuff like that. But I think they're gonna be good at this.
Honestly, I don't know why anybody be surprised if we just make it to the if we make it like I want to say bronze to the bronze game, because honestly, when you think about it, when we have the NBA season, which was as hectic as it was this year and put a lot of stress on all the players and caused supposedly a lot of injuries, you can't expect high quality. Firstly, secondly, it's like the rest of the world been caught up. It's just the NBA ain't respected the rest of the world yet to say they've caught up. So, you know, it's kind of like as soon as Giannis and Luka came over, we should have said, okay, they on our level. But even though Giannis won it this year, we had to wait till the U.S. lost this year in like friendlies to figure it out. Oh, man, these guys are different over there. And it's like, yeah, because most time we send our guys over there. Then they come back in. Now they want to be all-stars in the NBA. So it must be something going on over there. And for the USA men's basketball team, it's just the roster's not deep enough. Like our bigs is Draymond Green. Like we ain't got a big coming unless we go and get we somehow talk Anthony Davis to come on. Because the best center in the game, the two of the best is Jokic and Embiid, and neither one of them Americans. And that should say something in itself. Jokic won MVP this year. That's another thing. It's like the signs are there. It's just when is the NBA going to actually do that? Oh, man, let's go conquer that market. But they probably won't. They're probably just going to keep disrespecting. So it's been nice, you know, being here with you guys, working as an intern, you know. This has been a great season, I guess, you know, a great good of shows. I worked a lot on doing the background cuts and, you know, getting the questions right. And this show was pretty fun to put together. I like the questions on this one. This one was pretty good. Yeah, man.
Yeah, this was pretty dope. Johnathan, we glad to have you. So you're at the University of Ozarks. What, this is your junior year, your senior year?
Yeah, man, this is my senior year. I'll be finishing up there, and then I'll be going off into the world, you know, trying to figure things out. Hopefully it goes right. That's what we all hope. And I try to keep in touch with people, which I most definitely will with you guys, because y'all help me out with a lot of learning how to manage. Like I love how we manage things throughout the process. When it came to like the different Excel sheets, I actually love that with the coloring. That was pretty dope. I'm gonna probably take that on in my next adventures.
All right,
This
shoot,
is dope,
we
man.
did something right then. All right, we did something right.
Yeah,
Somebody
there's
learned
something
something.
right.
Okay, cool. But no, yeah, that's dope, man. Working with you, man. Like even learning from you, even the different editing stuff. Like you did something to the audio on our last video. I'm like, man, how'd you do that? How'd you do that? And you showed me. That's something I'm gonna keep in mind. But like, yeah, just learning from, being able to learn from each other. I think that was a cool experience. And of course, your contributions, where you stepped in, where you carried some parts. Like I think that is a really good experience for us.
Yeah, man. I definitely appreciate the ideas you brought in, especially with our production meetings. If you had an idea, you were not afraid to bring it up. The questions you had too, so you definitely been a big help to our whole production.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it, man. This setup right here, I think it should go far. I like it. I like all the guests though. That's the best part to me. We had some amazing guests while I was here, like Rob Parker, that dude from Last Chance U, the coach.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I was like, man, oh man, I love these guests. These are things that make me want to watch it, because it's like these are people like I watch Rob Parker almost every time he hopped on Undisputed. Like that's my show. So when he hopped in there, I was like, man, this just got 10 times better. And then he showed up here. I was like, gotta learn something. Gotta go read. Gotta go listen, man. And y'all asked some good questions, man. Some really good questions. So yeah.
No doubt. All right.
Yeah.
So that's going to bring a conclusion to this episode of Keeping It Real. I also want to make it known that this is 2021 is the 5th anniversary of Be-Moor Radio. So that's 5 years of being on air on the Be-Moor Radio app. If you haven't downloaded, please do on your local Apple, Google Play Store, or wherever device you have or whatnot. And this episode will be on YouTube and Spotify and Google Podcasts. And that's a wrap. It's going to be a close for this one.